G'day Jaffa Adventurers, Terry King here. Welcome to the channel. Another FJ45 video for you. This time I'm going to fabricate a pedal box. You want to see what a pedal box is and the types of things I need to take into consideration when I'm fabricating one? Stick around. All right, I've got the steering wheel temporarily mounted in the car. I got my throttle pedal that came with the LSA engine. I got my brake pedal all mounted, and now I gotta mount this sucker up. To do that, I'm gonna whack the seat in place because these vehicles don't have a lot of room in the best of times, and you throw a 6'2" man behind the wheel and it gets even tighter. So the pedal placement is going to be pretty critical for me. Seats have all been freshly upholstered. I've got those stored in the house at the moment. So I've got this one out of jail, brought it out to the shed. Let's mount it in place. That's the ticket. So I got a bracket here cradling the steering wheel at the moment, which is installed incorrectly. The wheel placement normally sits about there. So that's not too bad. I can get my fat gut in here and it's reasonably comfortable. Now because this car is an auto, it's obviously only got an accelerator and a brake. That accelerator pedal is going to be mounted somewhere up there, and it needs to be a little bit proud of the floor. That's pretty good from swapping your foot over from the accelerator to the brake. So I think the consideration here is the center of this accelerator pedal will be sitting about even with the pad on the brake pedal. And in terms of distance from the accelerator, something like that. That allows you to just sort of flick your foot back and forth while you're throwing your car around the Nuremberg ring, hey? The actual throw of this pedal is very, very tiny. You're probably looking down here at the end of its pivot point, probably looking at about 50 mil in total. So I'm feeling that that pedal box will need to sit somewhere right about there. Now, before I go ahead and fabricate something up, I'll temporarily mount this here and I'll make sure that the feel is right. I just got a little bit of 30 mil box section here. Just mount that pedal like that. That would get me full travel of the pedal so it's not interfering with the floor. It's a nice distance between the brake and the accelerator. I think that that's probably the material that I'm going to use. I'll cut it to length, put another piece here, and probably just use some riv nuts to fix it in place. Well, let me fab that up and see what it looks like for starters. It's not completely straightforward fabricating a pedal box for this because we've got this thing that sort of steps down, this bracket that steps down. So this bolt here is proud of these two bolts here. So I can't use the exact same material for both sides. Now, of course, I could unbolt this pedal from this bracket altogether, but it's actually not a bad bracket, so I am going to use that. So I'll start with this side. I'll mark those two holes. Then I'll drill them out and I'll put in some M6 riv nuts in there. All right, part one. Let's go set that up on the car and see what she looks like. All right, now if that was bolted to the firewall there, that pedal is nice and in line with the brake. We've got full swing. The base of the pedal isn't interfering with the firewall at all. I think we got her. Remember how I said that these two bolts were different heights? So that box section I'm actually gonna have to pop up on end and box it in, because if I use that end like I have on the other side, in an exaggerated sense, it kicks out sideways. So that little piece boxed in like that is perfect. Okay, we're bolted here, obviously. I'll run a bolt through here, and then these two brackets will get bolted to the firewall. Nice. Okay, that's where our bolt's going to be located. Okay, let's go check this out on the car. That little puppy's going to sit right about there. Got full stroke of our pedal, and it's sitting about middle with the brake pedal. Excellent. And we'll mark here and here will be where we put our riv nut into the firewall. So first of all, we need a riv nut here, and we need one here. So let me start by drilling a hole here in the firewall and drilling a hole here in the firewall, remounting this pedal, and then marking the holes on the back side of this pedal box from the outside of the firewall. All right, rib nut in here, original bolt here. I got a hole in the firewall here with a nut welded on the back side here rather than a rib nut because I wanted to grind it flush and smooth. I think we're ready to mount this sucker up. All right, that's number 2. Number 3 comes from the firewall through into that block there. All right, that pedal box is mounted in there, as is the brake pedal. Now I actually have a choice here. I've got a brake pedal and a clutch pedal. The hole for the clevis on the brake and the clutch is exactly the same position from the mounting point. So I can interchange this with the brake. This brake pedal has a completely straight shaft. That pedal, which I think was the clutch originally, kicks out to the left. So I'll climb into the driver's seat, I'll try them both and see which one feels better. Let's start with our original brake pedal. And not a darn thing wrong with that. I can rest my heel on the floor and pivot the throttle pedal its full length. And the brake feels quite good. Easy transition. Okay, let me put the clutch pedal in that place and see whether that gives me any better feel. Pull the clevis pin out, take our mounting bolt out, and get rid of our pedal. Now we'll throw in what was the original clutch pedal. I'll put our clevis pin in. And there's where that pedal sits. So let's go for the feel. One's marginally farther away as you would expect because the pedal kicks out to the left. But you know what? I think I actually like that a little bit better. It just centralizes the pedal. When you've got the brake in there, everything is squished over to the right-hand side. This sort of centralizes everything. There's a little bit more room between the two pedals with using the clutch pedal because this pedal kicks out to the left a little bit. Okay, sold. Clutch pedal will be my brake pedal. Brake pedal, we're gonna retire you. So to hook that throttle pedal up to the motor, it's a simple matter of plugging in a wiring harness. So that is sweet. We'll call that a win and we'll call that done. So I continue to march slowly on this FJ45 project, but it is a forward march. Next time around, I gotta fabricate a cooling system. Until then, keep the shiny side up, everybody. Bye now.